You're exploring franchises. Where the heck do you start? And just like what I hear people do all the time, what I did was I started looking at what the hot franchises were. Just interviewed Jason Pfeiffer, which we released a two-part series from Entrepreneur Magazine. So well before he started as their editor in chief, I was looking at the top 500 brands. I believe it was the magazine cover read, and started kind of looking down that list. And nothing wrong with looking at brands, but really kind of figuring out what a franchise was. I understood franchising to be fast food, Subway, McDonald's, and really understanding what a franchise was and figuring out if that would fit what I was looking to accomplish. That's where the show starts here, and in that a franchise is not the right fit for everyone. Let me repeat that. It is not the right fit for everyone. It is a vehicle. There are many vehicles out there: startups, franchises, real estate syndication, traditional investing in the stock market, mutual funds, the list goes on. So it's really figuring out the right mix. And for me, that mix was going to be business ownership, as I saw the upside, the growth, the exit value, the tax benefits, and the list goes on. So really, if I can help you in figuring out a franchise, figure out why you want to own a business, because a franchise is essentially a business. Whether it's a franchise or startup, why do you want to own a business? It is a lot of work. There's a big time commitment. And usually the people I work with, they are looking to accomplish a few things. Number one is they want to create another source of income, which is good. They want to create a safety net in the event of the next job loss, right? There's especially certain industries have been cutting back on jobs, job losses and layoffs and things like that. There are other individuals that own businesses that either want to convert their business into a franchise or diversify their investments and maybe add on just purely investment or add on additional income streams. Maybe it's a mom and pop roofing company that wants to offer and add on a franchise that offers painting services, or a coverings business where they're able to essentially restore vinyl siding and things like that. So really figuring out why you want to own a business. Yes, we all want to make more money, but really kind of figuring out what is your why. For me, as an example, and that's something I'm starting to do a lot more, is kind of give my story and give some examples. My why was my family. Well, what does that mean? Well, that why, my family, basically meant wanted to spend more time with them. I worked on Wall Street 2003, 4, 5, 6. And with that commute, I was never going to see my family. By the time I left at 5:30 in the morning and got home after 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, 5 hour round trip commute, I needed to make a change. So that my why was spending more time with family, flexibility, and always had the idea of becoming a soccer coach and never missing a soccer game, which is something I got to accomplish. And that was my big accomplishment as a business owner, is not just the money, but that time freedom that it created. So some people, I always tell people, they're looking for different things: time freedom. Financials are more important than time, but time is a close second, or vice versa. And that is okay. Everyone's situation is different, but that why is going to be super important, because just like in any business, there's going to be bumps in the road, and you need that strong enough why to really get you through the ups and downs in any business. So things to consider with the franchise: number one is you need money to invest. Now, with a startup, the investment could be less, but what happens is that you're figuring out the system. So, what you save, avoiding a franchise fee in a startup, it may take you 2, 3 years to put that business plan together. Whereas a franchise, there are certain businesses that don't require any type of brick and mortar. You're up and running in 90 days or less. So you're really kind of speeding up the process, kind of figuring out what you have, looking at your financials, always getting your financials in order. So liquid assets, your liquidity, your total assets, your liabilities. So basically, your assets minus your liabilities give you your net worth. The assets also include the liquidity, but how much money do you have to put towards the business? I recommend, as a starting point, 50,000 liquid, 100,000 net worth. You're looking at the equity in your home and things like that for the assets, but you need to deduct a mortgage. But that's just a starting point. You need to make sure that it also depends how you're running the business. So if you're running it full time, you need to make sure that you have enough of a safety net or a nest egg set aside to pay your monthly expense. You may need 6 months living expense aside, because if you are the only income in the household, who's paying your mortgage and rent and health insurance and student loans or whatever you have out there? Money is one, so get your financials in order, regardless if you're looking to buy a business or not. You should know where you stand financially.